What's going on? Is Anton from antondaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Jimmy Kimmel, who I don't necessarily think is funny. As a matter of fact, I don't even know how the majority of these guys stay on late night television because I don't know anybody, and I've never seen anybody, even including old people, that watch late night television. And we know that television is dying. I don't think that it's going to go away completely within the next decade. However, we know that streaming services such as YouTube and yours truly always bringing you the great content. YouTube, Peacock, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, all of those platforms are absolutely continuing to nibble on the heels of what's going on cable TV and late night TV. But Jimmy Kimmel, he decided that he wanted to put his nail in the grave a lot sooner than that. And the way that he did it, unceremoniously. I don't know why these guys can't read the room. I don't know who their producers are. I don't know why somebody doesn't say, you know what, not us. We're not going to do it, because you know that advertisers can pull advertising at any moment if they don't necessarily care for the rhetoric that's happening online. Jimmy Kimmel decided that he wanted to unceremoniously fire himself by having crazy comments about Charlie Kirk in a way of his death. Now, he should know better than this. He's been online and he's been in the news for a long time, but ABC decided that they wanted to pull Jimmy Kimmel's show indefinitely after his remarks about Charlie Kirk. Let's get into it, y'all. Says Disney's ABC, which we know that Disney tends to be a lot more of a liberal network, at least they were during the Biden administration, is taking Jimmy Kimmel's late night talk show off air indefinitely amid controversy over his recent comments about Charlie Kirk's suspected killer. Goes on to say that a representative for Kimmel did not immediately respond to request for comment. See if I can blow this up a little bit more. Request for comment. Abrupt announcement came Wednesday evening after at least one major operator of ABC-affiliated stations said it would not broadcast the show for the foreseeable future. So one turned into two turned into four, and then it went from there. The operator, Nexstar, said it strongly objects to the recent comments made by Mr. Kimmel concerning the killing of Charlie Kirk and will replace the show with other programming in its ABC-affiliated markets. Now, a lot of people don't really understand that most of these markets and most of these places, they are kind of like simulcast, right? And so when you talk about it being in a particular market, they can choose not to simulcast it. It's almost like, I don't know if you were growing up, I was growing up in a time where they had simulcast when it came to radio stations. It's the same thing with this, and they decided to let him go. And what really is going on is you have half of the country, despite how you believe, when you become a public figure, you kind of got to straddle the line. If you decide that you want to do business on major networks like ABC, Disney, and so on and so forth. And I believe that that is why a lot of other people like Stephen A. Smith, they decide that they wanted to have their own show in addition to it because it gives them more visibility. It allows for them to be able to say some of the things they really want to say, and they can have their opinions outside of what's broadcast on a major network. And so Jimmy Kimmel used his platform to go super left and go tone deaf at a time where it's probably not as popular to be tone deaf because it could cost you your job. During his Monday evening monologue, Kimmel suggested Kirk's alleged killer, Tyler Robinson, may have been a pro-Trump Republican. He says the MAGA gang is desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. And then everybody said, oh, and they pushed the laugh track and all of that stuff, right? It goes on to say that ABC late night host remarks constituted the sickest conduct possible. FCC Chair Brendan Carr told right-wing broadcaster Benny Johnson. On Wednesday, Carr suggested his FCC could move to revoke ABC affiliate licenses as a way to force Disney to punish Kimmel. It says, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct and take actions on Kimmel. And there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead. So basically what they're telling you is that when you work for somebody else or you decide that you want to sign a contract, that they can then control what you say, right? And so I'm not going to shed a tear for Jimmy Kimmel. As a matter of fact, I'm not even sure if Jimmy Kimmel was going to shed a tear for Jimmy Kimmel. They was probably looking to let him go anyway. I want to look up Jimmy Kimmel's salary. Jimmy Kimmel's annual salary is $16 million per year as of 2025. And that's according to Forbes, which I don't necessarily care for Forbes because I think that anybody could say anything. But they say that Jimmy Kimmel's salary as of 2025 is $16 million per year, making him one of the highest paid TV hosts in the industry. The salary for his work on the late night show Jimmy Kimmel Live on ABC. And so I don't know if they're going to also remove, I think he got like a thing at Universal Studios or something like that. I'm not really sure. But making $16 million and fumbling the bag over a joke has got to be one of the biggest fumbles this year. Has to be one of the biggest fumbles this year. No way in the world that you could sit here and do this dumb stuff and justify throwing away $16 million. Now, on one hand, some people are going to say, well, he's made $16 million and he's been on TV for a long time, and so he's probably secure and got the bag. Maybe. But the fact that he was still working and making $16 million a year, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to throw away regardless of how you feel, regardless of whether or not you made it a long time. That's a lot of money to just throw away. And so I'm not really sure that makes sense. Let's go on. It says, Carr added that the broadcasters, including ABC, have licenses granted by the FCC that comes with it an obligation to operate in the public interest. Elsewhere in the interview, Carr attacked Kimmel as talentless and suggested the late night comedian's comments display some sort of desperate irrelevance. ABC, Disney did not immediately respond to requests for comment. This is not the first time Carr has gone after ABC in the recent months. In July, Trump appointee told Fox News that long-running daytime talk show The View is now in the crosshairs of this administration over the co-host Joy Bear's scathing criticism of President Trump. I'm so surprised that The View is still online. As a matter of fact, I probably need to head over to The View and check and see what's going on in the wake of this whole situation and see if Sonny Hostin has issued any retractions or any legal notices. Kimmel has also been a frequent target of Trump's ire shortly after CBS announced the cancellation of Stephen Colbert's late night talk show. A move Carr publicly celebrated. Trump suggested that next up will be even less talented Jimmy Kimmel. Looks like he should have been on his best behavior, huh? The Center for American Rights, which has previously lodged bias complaints against NBC, ABC, and CBS, which we also know the New York Times is getting sued by Trump for $15 billion, on Wednesday filed a complaint with the FCC over Kimmel's comments, writing that it is no defense to say that Kimmel was engaging in satire or late-night comedy rather than traditional news. ABC's affiliates need to step up and hold ABC accountable as a network for passing through material that fails to respect the public interest standard to which they are held. Daniel Sir, president of the Center for American Rights, wrote in a complaint, Disney, as ABC's corporate owner, needs to act directly to correct this problem. So, with that being said, late night, not so funny man Jimmy Kimmel probably will be doing his own thing and coming out with a new YouTube channel like everybody else and saying that he's going independent or he has the option to retire. But the one thing that we do know for sure, and two things is for certain, is that Jimmy Kimmel is being pulled according to reports from everywhere, including the Wall Street Journal, so on and so forth, and he is unceremoniously being let go. Let me know what you guys think inside of the comments. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Of course, we are going to be covering this on the Millionaire Morning Show in the morning. I love you. I appreciate you. I do not feel bad for Jimmy Kimmel whatsoever, especially considering I remember a time where censorship was tantamount and you couldn't even say anything. So much so to where Republicans were being censored on Twitter, and it took Elon Musk buying it in order to release everybody and to let them say what they want to say when they want to say it. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. I love you. I appreciate you. I can't wait to read them.